Pleased to be joined by Andrei Vasilevskiy of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And right off the bat, one of the big questions. So you're sort of in this spot where we're not so much talking about you as the best goalie in the NHL. We're wondering whether you're one of the best goaltenders of all time.
In my opinion.
How do you feel when you hear people say, look what Vasilevskiy's done? He's not just the best right now. He's one of the best of all time.
Well, in my opinion, we can talk about after retirement. So, and we'll take a look back at all your achievements, all your cups, wins, and then we can decide who's the best all time. But to name the greatest goalies, the greatest goalie right now, it's too soon. So
you're very humble.
Sure. I mean, how it works, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So you have to be consistent throughout your career. It's all about consistency. We see many goalies nowadays, 1-2 seasons, great seasons, and then all of a sudden, that's it. That's all. But can you name a few goalies who's been consistent for the last 5, 6, 7 seasons? It's probably
that's your standard?
Exactly, yeah. It's all about consistency.
And you want more than that, not just 5, 6, 7. You want
obviously it's not like 5, 6, 7 and you're done. No, we want to be 15 seasons. Or it's obviously it's really hard to do. It's that's why if you want to be legendary goalie and the greatest of all time, you have to put that many seasons together. It's good seasons.
Okay, this is going to be a question you're really not going to like then, based on this. But, everybody talks about you and how demanding you are of yourself and the expectations you have of yourself. Do you want to be seen as, when you're done, would you say that I want to be seen as the greatest of all time?
Of course, I think that's the goal for every goalie. At the end of your career, as I said, you want to be considered as one of the best of all time. But it takes so much. It takes so much to be named one of the greatest of all time. So it's very hard to do.
Who do you consider the greatest goalie ever?
In my opinion, there's a few. Probably Brodeur, number one. Because he's got almost 700 wins, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's funny. I don't know what his save percentage or goal against or how many Vezinas he's had, but I know that he's got almost 700 wins and 3 Stanley Cups. So that's probably the most important to me. So cups and wins. So obviously Patrick. St. Patrick. So, I would say this my 2 picks, obviously.
Right now there's a very specific phenomenon with goaltenders, and that is the rise of the Russian goalie. We all know about Shesterkin last year. I think more and more people are, figuring out that Ilya Sorokin is an outstanding goaltender, and you're probably top of all of that class. You look in the last few years, and I know you're saying, oh, no, I need to do more. But do you have an explanation where this came from, this explosion of elite Russian goaltenders that are just dominating the world?
Yeah, that's a good thing for a country, obviously. That means that our goalie school is working pretty well. Yeah. But I feel like 20 years ago, it was all about Canadian goalies. Then it was Finnish. Yes. Then it was Swedish.
Yep.
And now it's Russians. But at some point there'll be another country, with a few strong goalies in the NHL. So, but no, as I said, that's a good thing for a country. And obviously we have a very few young Russian goaltenders that at some point will play in the NHL too.
We were just talking about Yaroslav Askarov a couple of moments ago, and that's,
he was number 9 overall.
Yeah, he was a high pick.
Very
Really
high pick. Yeah. So,
Another first-round goaltender, right?
Yeah,
Like yourself.
that's great.
Like yourself.
For sure. But that's it's great for the league too. So so I hope we'll be able to show the world that he deserves to be that first round pick. So yeah, we'll see. No, that's, as I said, great for our country and great for the league.
Do any of these guys ask you for advice?
I played with two of those guys at the World Championship a few years ago, but I don't think they ask much. Maybe I ask them.
Do you ever say, like, would you ever say to either, whether it's in playing for your country or playing in Tampa, would you ever say to a goalie, come here, watch this. This is what you have to know. This is what you have to do.
No, because I'm still learning too. So even if the guy will be 5 years younger than me and there's something that I like about his game, I'll call to him and I'll ask him, hey, what do you do to do this and that? Because I'm 28, so I'm still learning too. And that's a good thing, because the moment you stop learning and stop improving yourself, you can just retire.
Okay. I love watching the Lightning play. And I like watching the way the Lightning do things, because you have like a fiercely competitive group that almost refuses to lose. Who is the biggest competitor in that room? Like, who is the person that hates to lose the most?
That's a tough one. Everybody, obviously, it's not like there's one guy that will be so upset with a loss, and the second guy will be okay, it will happen. It's all right. So yeah, obviously it's since it's a team sport, it's we winning as a team and losing as a team. So we celebrate the win, and we're staying quiet when we lose. So as a team, so there's not, as I said, there's not like one guy will take it a little easier than another. So
the other thing I wanted to ask you was, do you guys ever worry or think you're in trouble? Like when Toronto had you down in the first round last year, did you ever think like, we're in trouble here? Or Colorado had you down in the Stanley Cup final. Do you ever think we're in trouble here?
Like me personally, like I know what other guys were thinking during that, but me personally, probably I would have thought that when I was, I don't know, 21, 22 years old. But now I have enough experience that it's not about 1 or 2 games in the playoffs, or even three games. So you still, when you play one game at a time and just one period at a time, one goal at a time, so you can turn the series like that right away. So no, I felt pretty confident in our group, and you know what, I thought we did pretty well.
So.
Whenever I see a goaltender make the scorpion save, I think of Mika Kiprusoff. I'll always think of Mika Kiprusoff when I see that save. And every time I see a goaltender now swing his glove behind his back to make a save, I think of you. And I'll always think of you whenever I see any goaltender make that save. Where did that come from?
I know, just reflexes. But yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't really know what I was thinking. But so I just, I don't know. I probably was out of position, or I don't know. I saw Kopitar too late, and I decided just to put my glove behind my back. And it's not that I'm doing that in practice all the time. Yeah. Just maybe to kind of joke around a little bit, but not like it's something serious I would do in practice. And yeah, all of a sudden I caught it.
So that wasn't something you had ever done before, like that.
No,
the
that
you
was
did
the first
in
time
the
ever.
NHL.
And the cool thing that that happened in NHL. So, and I mean, that was so unusual, and it's obviously the greatest save of my career.
What type of reaction did you get after that game from other goaltenders once they saw it? Like, did you have people texting you saying like, we never even thought of trying that?
Yeah.
Because you see it everywhere now. Goalies do it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, good. I guess it was a good influence by me. But try to use a blocker more often than that, so believe me. But I mean, I got a few texts from my friends, obviously family. I mean, not from other goalies because I don't really communicate with other goalies in the NHL. So just a few texts from friends and family. Obviously, my teammates, they were more excited. They were more excited to see that than me. So that was pretty cool.
Okay, who is Tampa's best shooter in practice?
There's a few, but obviously Stammer.
Stammer
Still number one to me. Great shot.
Who's the toughest shooter in the league?
Ovi.
Okay. Who's a young player that you saw maybe in the last year or two and you said, wow, that young guy can really fire it?
Probably, you know the answer, McDavid. Probably.
Okay.
So easy question. Yeah, great, talented. I know Matthews too. They're both pretty good, great players, consistent players too. So that's the most important in my opinion.
Who's the toughest on a breakaway?
Every player in the NHL. Seriously, it's I mean, they're playing in the NHL for a reason, right? So it's really hard to stop all of them. So
your favorite game in the NHL, the one that you would look at and say that was my favorite game, which one would it be?
Oh, obviously there's a few, but I'll go with my first NHL game in Philadelphia, obviously. So we won that game 3-1, thank God. But we actually they scored first when Simmons tipped it on PP. So that was kind of such a huge moment for me and kind of welcome to the NHL moment. So
let me finish up with a quick one on Nikita Kucherov because I'm fascinated with this player.
Sure.
I'll watch him shoot, and I'll say to myself, it just looked like the puck just flew off his blade, and he didn't even roll his wrists. Like it's fascinating to me. How do you get a read on Kucherov and that shot? Because it's like it's on his blade, and then it's just off, and like did his wrist move? Did his wrist move at all?
Yeah, he's pretty unique player. I mean, I'm practicing him almost every day, so and I pretty much know him. But it still have a kind of a little competition in practice. So, but I mean, as you said, it's just his release is so kind of sneaky and he's just super smart. And the funniest thing that he's not like to score a goal is not his first option. He always looking to make that pass. So he's he likes to give that tap in an empty net. So that's I remember that goal in Florida in the playoffs when he passed it to Perry, open net, and everybody were like, "What the hell was that?" Even Perry was laughing after the game. I couldn't believe he just saw me. It was such a big moment. It was as you said, just great player.
High skill on your team.
Yeah,
high skill.
That was that night after you guys won your cup, when he was saying that you should have been the consummate, or were you like Nikita? Can you please stop talking already? Like, what was your reaction to all that? I loved it. What were you saying?
The interview when he was without the shirt.
Yeah,
And
he had a few beers.
To be honest, I didn't see that until the next morning because I went home right after the game for like 15 minutes, and then I basically went back to the arena. And when I was doing that, he was on the podium doing that stuff. So, and to be honest, I didn't see that. So I just saw the next morning. So.
And when you watched it and you saw it, like, what were you thinking?
It was that was pretty funny. But when you win the cup, you kind of for the next a few weeks you have that kind of gut mode. Mm-hmm. So you like just I can basically do whatever I want then because I won the cup. Yeah, so that was probably one of those moments, and that was pretty fun. Obviously, he's a great guy, and it was obviously after a few beers,
Hey.
it was kind of real. But yeah. So why not? Plus the cup, won the cup at home in front of our own fans. So so you put all these things together, and you get Kuch with no shirt. So.
Perfect way to end it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for this.
Yeah, sure, cool.